Hi, I have not showered yet, as you can probably tell by this beard. But I'm gonna tell you why I don't care that I haven't showered yet, and that's because I'm getting back on the vlogs. Dude, I fell off there at the beginning of April. I think today's what, April 14th. The beginning of April, had one of those days I said, whatever, I'll have some drinks today. That turned into like 9 straight days and nothing like terrible happened, but I just completely fell off the wagon. And there was a period of a few days there where I was just straight up binging it, dude. And that was really bad. But hey, I'm back. I'm on day 6 now. I'm truly getting back into the swing of things. But I've also gotten some horrible news. It's been a real bumpy ride. You know, I don't know how much in the previous vlogs I've explained this, but I am in a horrible spot in life, to say the least, okay? And I got some horrible news from my lawyer that he thinks that what we're looking at is gonna be a year of license suspension and 2 years of probation. You know, honestly, when I think about that, like intellectually, it's really not that big of a deal. But I was going into this meeting with him expecting to get a 90-day license suspension and a year of probation. So obviously when your expectations are a 90-day license suspension, year of probation, and your lawyer, who this guy's one of the best, he knows what he's talking about, says he expects a year of suspension and 2 years of probation, that is a punch to the gut, let me tell you, okay? And the main reason why it's a punch to the gut is because it locks me down in the area that I'm currently in, the state that I'm in rather, which is just annoying if you want to leave, which is like I do. So, but hey, we'll see what happens. And then there's another side to that, which is I'm going to appeal it on my court date, which is in a few days. And then we'll see what happens if he thinks anything good can come of that. But that will cost $3,000. I'm stressed for money right now. But if he can improve the outcome, then that $3,000 will definitely be worth it, right? You know, I mean, it depends. It depends on what he thinks can happen. But on top of that, you know, there's financial strain, and then there's uncertainty about the future, like what my next moves are going to be. It's just the entire situation has been extremely stressful, and I needed to take a break from making these videos, but I also completely fell off. I originally wanted to go all of April without drinking alcohol. Now I'm just doing the last 21 days, and I'm going to do those 21 days. You mark my words here. And I know every day is just going to continue to get better. I have backup plans and these plans, and I've permutated everything out in my mind. But when you're in this sort of position that I'm in life right now, where you're looking at the only jobs you can get, you have to walk. There's no public transportation in the city. You have to have a car to get basically anywhere here. It's ridiculous in that regard. So I'm looking at making peanuts, minimum wage. Then rent is crazy. I have to walk wherever I go. I'm facing legal problems. There's no one really I can trust. You know, I mean, this is the thick of it. This is about as thick as it gets, okay? The only things that are like harder than this that I can think of are like a nasty divorce and going to prison. I pretty much can't imagine a worse, aside from those 2 outcomes, my current life is as bad as it gets. But guess what? I have always been a determined and hardworking person, and I will not be dissuaded, okay? So I'm optimistic. Also, I was tracking my macros in the previous vlogs. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I have a completely new attitude towards all that stuff. And my new philosophy towards life is I base everything in terms of mental bandwidth. What do I mean by mental bandwidth? I mean, our brains are obviously very small. They're like the size of a cantaloupe, okay? And they're far from perfect. They're very imperfect, actually. They're also very powerful and very, very, you know, they're very effective if you use it well. But that's the thing with mental bandwidth. You can't do everything. You have to divvy your focus, what you allow to occupy your mind. You have to be extremely selective if you want the best life possible. And where I'm currently at, tracking, making sure I get my macros right, screw it. That's for someone in a much better and different situation than me, who's financially well off, has clear plans for the future, etc. Right now, I'm not worried about hitting my macros. I've lost a ton of weight. I'll put on muscle slowly, whatever. I'm eating pretty healthy. Right now, the focus needs to be financially foremost, the best housing plans possible, and staying sober. Okay, so the biggest priority, the number one priority, is remaining completely sober, which, by the way, I'm expecting this current streak that I'm on, because I've already gone a week or more multiple times at this point. I'm expecting to take this a very, very long way into the future. We'll see if that happens. I'm gonna work to make it happen. But I know as these sober days stack, then everything will improve exponentially. Things will get so much better. I can't even understand how much better they will get. And I know that's true. I absolutely know that's true. In every single way. That's the stepping stone. That's the foundation on which everything else will become easier and more accessible. So here we are. Oh yeah, I woke up today. I struggled to get to sleep. It's 1:49 p.m. right now. I just got done getting outside to reset my circadian rhythm. I'm going full swing back into the routine today. I'm gonna wake up at a good time tomorrow. Today, I'm focused on kind of taking it easy. You know, the most important thing is maintaining sobriety. Like, at this point in my life, if I can do that, then I don't really have to worry too much about anything else. Like, I don't have any other crazy deadlines or anything. And as long as you string the sober days together, then everything else will fall into place. And I already have plans and backup plans, Like, it's not like I'm completely unprepared. I'm just the kind of person who obsessively seeks to optimize whatever it is that I'm doing. I graduated high school in 3 years. I wanted to graduate college in 3 years. How I do my lifts, how I structure my day, how I'm an extremely strategically minded person. And it's honestly, I'm kind of strategically minded to a fault. And that's kind of what this idea of not counting my macros is it's like, you need to be very, very measured and intentional and thoughtful with where you apply your energy and focus and strategy at the moment, because you can't do everything at once. So what's the list of priorities? Then go bang, 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 okay? And tracking my damn macros right now is not a big deal. You know what? There's one probably real dietary goal, clear dietary goal I should have right now, and that is just trying broadly to lower my saturated fat intake. And even that is not a huge deal. I can worry about my saturated fat in 3 months or 6 months. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying here? This is a question to you. Are you focused on what you should be focused on? Are you piddle shitting around with things, how many steps you get, if you did this or that? Or are you focused on what truly matters? Because I personally struggle with focusing on what truly matters. And that is the biggest shift I want to take going into these new vlogs here. The old ones, I was just kind of throwing stuff at the wall, see what sticks. Tracking your macros doesn't stick. Prioritizing fitness doesn't stick. Moving forward in life at this point in time for me should be focusing mostly on other things. And if I feel like going to the gym, I will. But that is like down here compared to all these other things. So let's get after it. Also, I was kind of freaking out last night about my situation. I dropped my phone and the screen cracked. So that absolutely sucks. But hey, it's a minor setback. Can't let it get to me, whatever. All right, yo, let's check this pantry out. Got tons of beans. I love cans of beans, bro. Just wonderful. Check the nutrition on cans of beans. They're like $1. That's awesome. Got to make this pasta. I got to make this protein pasta. Got a lot of tuna. You can only have that 2 or 3 times a week, which pisses me off. I wish I could have it every day, but whatever. Then I got all this fresh stuff. I got a ton of apples, potatoes, avocados, bananas. Gonna have to eat that before all that expires. Pretty tall order. Then I got some chicken in here, beef, salmon, and more fresh ingredients. But for now, I'm just focused on breakfast, which is gonna be 2 of these avocados. And then an apple. I don't care that that's bruised. And then we'll do a banana. And then we'll do some peanut butter. Peanut butter oatmeal. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use this and make banana, peanut butter, whey, and oats drink. Also got the pill tray back in action. Gonna be getting on these with the breakfast, and I'm gonna add some creatine to this. But yeah, that's a scoop of whey, half cup of oats, a banana, 1 to 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and about 10 ounces of water in there, and 5 grams of creatine, obviously. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, this thing is awesome. I'm probably gonna be drinking this every single day. Cost is like under $2. The nutrients on that are crazy, and it tastes amazing. Highly recommend it, guys. So I was just laying here on the couch watching something, and I thought to myself, maybe I'll eat some M&Ms right now. There were M&Ms on sale a while ago, so I got a few packs. And I very rarely eat sugar, and I thought to myself, you know what, I just want to go really hard. Like when you get in a certain state where you're really on the tracks, where like you've already done everything right today and you continue to do everything right. And then you go to bed knowing you've done everything right, and you get up tomorrow and you do everything right tomorrow. And I think I've touched on this in one of the previous videos, but this is the best feeling in the world, is being here. And yeah, I'm taking the day easy. I have no guilt about that decision. I'm taking the day easy, but I ate super healthy breakfast, healthy and tasty, and went for that walk, resetting my systems, whatever, and I could go eat those M&Ms, but the mental resolve and fortitude is ultimately what I'm talking about here. It's like whenever there's a fork in the road and you could go eat the M&Ms or not eat the M&Ms, don't eat the M&Ms. And then later on down the line, you meet another fork in the road and you take the right one again, and you do it again and again and again and again, and you stack that up. That is where confidence and self-esteem and motivation and all this stuff comes from. It comes from chaining together advantageous decisions and resisting, bad decisions. And if you can chain together the good, beneficial decisions enough, then your life will transform radically. It is 7 p.m. There's a little bit of sunlight out. My hair looks awful. But I'm gonna go get the rest of the sunlight and go for a little bit of a walk, because you win tomorrow by winning today and getting good sleep. So I'm gonna capitalize on this sun at 7 p.m., get some more movement in, and then come back and take it from there. For dinner today, going with some fish. Gonna make a fish burrito. I heat this tortilla up to melt the cheese in the microwave. I have this rice. I'm gonna put some rice on that with some salsa and the fish. That's the fish burrito. Then the rest of the fish I'll eat just as they come out of the oven. And then the rest of the rice, because this is a full cup, I'll combine with this can of beans after I microwave it. And that is a hearty and nutritious meal. This fried fish, it's mostly healthy fats. It's almost all healthy fats. So fiber, carbs, protein, fats, and super tasty. Super easy, super tasty. Basically just heating stuff up. So that's awesome. Boom. Look at that. That's a solid dinner. It is 11 p.m. Just brushed and flossed my teeth. Gonna get to bed early. It was gonna go at midnight, but whatever, nothing going on. Gonna wake up tomorrow with the 7th day of sobriety, and we'll see what fun there is in store.